guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Precious, and as y'all can see by the title, I want to tell you about my experience yesterday as an Uber driver. So if you didn't know, I do Uber Eats and drive people to their jobs and stuff like that on the side. I've been doing this since last school year, and I stopped during the summer and then I picked back up now that school is back in. So I'm just telling you, this does not always happen. This is just my story, my truth, and my experience. To each his own. I'm not suggesting or telling anyone to stop doing Uber. We all had or heard the different stories about what goes on Uber. So anywho, what happened yesterday was I dropped my kids off to school as usual. I went and did a couple of runs, dropped a couple of people off to work, and then I received this one call. When I say call, meaning the alert from the app. And I pulled up to this destination and it looked like a bar or a lounge or something. And I saw two security guards. Now the person I'm supposed to pick up, name is Pedro. Pedro, to me, is a male, right? So I see the two security guards and I see this lady standing outside this bar. And so when I don't see, a male nowhere near, I begin to move forward just a little bit, not too fast, like as if I was gonna skirt off or anything. But I moved forward a little bit, and then the security guard said, "Hey, wait a minute, she right here." So what I'm assuming is security called a Uber ride for this young lady. So the young lady, she proceeded to the car and she said, "They want me to leave, but I'm not ready to leave." And then she smiled. You could tell she was drunk. She had a lot of alcohol that was just coming out her pores, off her breath. You can tell she was drunk. So security was like, "Please get her home safely." Okay, cool. That's my job. And so she went ahead, she got in the back seat, and instead of like most people or normal people, they get in the back seat, they put on their seatbelt, and they sit there, ride, look at their phones, whatever. This young lady never sat back, never put on a seatbelt. She sat right in the center and like in the middle, and she was like halfway up to the front seat with me. And she's playing with her phone or whatever. She's like, "Hey, don't drive, don't pull off yet. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what she got going on. If she's calling somebody, I didn't know. So eventually, maybe a minute, if that, later, I began to proceed to drop her off to her destination. Now, her destination was not far from the location that we was at. It was probably, I think it was less than 10 minutes, maybe somewhere between 7 and 9 minutes away, if I remember correctly. So I began to drive, and I come up to 59. Now, if you're from Houston or you know or familiar with Houston, 59 is a highway where everybody's driving fast, okay? But I pull up to 59, which I'm on the feeder road. That's like a service road. And I'm waiting for the cars to go by, whatever. And so I proceed. And as I begin to drive, I get an alert from Uber saying the rider canceled. So I'm like, cancel? Like, she's in the car, man, how she canceled? So I'm like, "Ma'am," I was like, "Did you just cancel your ride?" And she was like, "No, I didn't." Now, mind you, she's still playing, fiddling with her phone. She was like, "No, I didn't do that. I was like, "Okay, well, I have to drop you off somewhere." Like, I was thinking of the next service station that came up, and I was close to one or whatever. So I was like, "I have to drop you off somewhere." And so I proceed, and as I proceed, I get all these other alerts that's coming through where people need to get picked up, or they need some food picked up or delivered. So I have to, exit all those out because I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's going on? She says she didn't cancel, but I clearly just read that she canceled it. So as I'm going down the street, who is it? Uber sends me an alert saying, "Is everything okay?" So I guess it's like some sort of security system. checking in on me because they thought it was odd that in the middle of me driving this young lady, Pedro, to their destination, it got canceled. So I clicked on something, I can't remember what, but I remember they had like so many options, like call 911, call, like it was like a whole bunch of different options, or to say that you were fine and whatever. So I forget what I clicked on, and I proceeded, and I remember I was like, oh, there's a Burlington coming up. Let me drop her off at the Burlington. But mind you, it's early in the morning, guys. When I say early, maybe 8:30ish. And I was like, oh, Burlington not open yet, but I still turned in that direction. Then I saw a Starbucks. I was like, oh, let me pull in the Starbucks. She's like, no, I don't want to go to Starbucks. You're supposed to turn a left and not a right. And I'm like, I'm turning away to... Anyways, my first thought was, I don't know what this young lady got in her purse. I don't know if she's going to try to do something from behind me. So let me pull over as quickly as possible. But the other thing that came to my thoughts was pull over into an area where you see a lot of people. Because I'm thinking, like, I'm going to have to drag this lady about my car. Like, you done got in the car with the wrong one. Like, I'm thinking, like, I'm realizing I'm going to have to fight this lady and drag her out my car. So I pulled over near the Starbucks in a thrift shop. I pulled directly in front of the thrift shop. And she's like, oh my goodness. She said, I have to pee. I need to go to the bathroom. I said, oh, okay. I said, let's go over here to the Starbucks then. We get to the Starbucks, pull in, park. And I'm like, grab all your stuff. Make sure you get everything out my back seat. And she's like, it's just my purse. I got it. And so she got out of the car. I was like, okay. It's not going to be as bad as I thought, because I thought I was going to have to drag her out of my car. And she got out of the car, she closed the door. I went ahead, cut off the car, I got out with her. So we proceeded to walk to the Starbucks. Well, the Starbucks it's a small location where all you can do is drive through, or you can walk up. And they have like a window where you can order or whatever. So there was no door to enter into it, unless it was for employees. But so there was no bathroom. So I'm telling her, I'm like, oh, this place doesn't have a bathroom. And she's like, oh, mind you, she's drunk. She's like, oh, there's the door right there. She's pointing at the door that's next door to the Starbucks. And I'm like, I'm not sure if this place is open. Let's go check. And so there was a guy outside of the store, and he was smoking a cigarette. And I asked him, I said, sir, do you have a bathroom? She need to use the restroom real quick, please. And he was like, yeah, sure. So he walked us on back to the back of the store, showed her where the bathroom was. So she's telling me, oh, hold my hand. I'm not holding your hand, but I will guide you. So I'm behind her, and I'm pushing her shoulder forward to the bathroom. And so once she went to the back to go pee, I politely walked out. I got back in my car. I noticed that the guy that was outside smoking, he came back out with me. He was smoking, and I know he was looking at me like, I know this lady is not about to drive off. And I got in my car, and I got up out of there. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I did pray for the girl. I was like, Lord, make sure she get home safely. And I went on about my day. I went and got my toes did. Like, that was the weirdest experience I've had since I've Ubered. Other than that, it's always, it goes well. Me and the rider, we have good conversation, or we don't talk at all. But that one was weird. I didn't know where she was going with it, but either way, every morning, before taking my kids to school, we always pray. We ask for God, to cover us, shield us, or whatever. And I did that particular morning. I just thank God that He did cover me, because that could have went left, guys. So I'm just telling you, any of you that do Lyft, Uber Eats, any type of delivery, or just Ubering, period, people in your car, just be mindful and careful. I'm not saying that I don't carry anything with me in my car. I'm not saying that. But this was a female. I just thought that maybe I would have to drag her out. Now, if I had to go to that extreme force, I would have. So yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all my story. If you like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you had any experience like this, whether you was the rider or you had a weird driver, please leave a comment below. I'll read it, I'll comment, and yeah. Until next time, guys. Peace.
I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find give all